Hello again, YouTube family. Welcome back to my channel for a quick update on Punishing Grey Raven that came out on July 16th. I'd like to tell you my reaction to some of the game modes and the gameplay in the battles and their skills and sort of my overall impression and whether or not I'll be keeping the game.
Where's my coffee?
Hello family. We're going to talk about Grey Raven in this video and I hope you had a chance to play. It did come out on July 16th. The game got off to a pretty decent start for myself. It downloaded to my phone right away, but it was a few hours before it actually was open to us. They even left us on our seats. If you were on the Discord, they posted the announcement of the actual times of servers opening a little later. So I mean, it adds to the excitement, it adds to the hype. People in the Discord were all joining in and they had to put us on cooldown and it was great. It was a good experience and I enjoyed it. If you're still looking to download the game, of course, check the description. I do have links in there. Also, a breakdown of some of the things we'll be talking about in the video. And of course, like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, if you enjoy the content I make on mobile games, or if you just enjoy my commentary or my shits and giggles. Give that subscribe button a click. And the bell if you like those notifications. I mean, you don't need to, but liking helps my algorithm. Doing really great. I just noticed today and somebody commented I hit 100 subscribers today, which is pretty awesome. So I appreciate your love and support, guys. I'll keep making content as often as I can for you. The reason why I did get this game and why I wanted to try was, I mean, it was listed as a gacha for me. It's mobile. I mean, I was really impressed with what I saw. And if you saw my hype video, like I was ready for it. I was really excited to get this game. I only have so much room on my phone for games to keep, which is why I wanted to put out a reaction for this video because depending on how I felt about the game and trying it, that's going to dictate if I'm going to continue making content because unfortunately I don't make content on games I don't still have on my device. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? So I can't just, come up with content out of my ass. But anyways, although I would like to, I try and stick to games that I'm playing or currently looking into or excited about. So moving on, I was expecting a lot. I was expecting quite a bit from this game. The community was really behind this game, a lot of support, a lot of hype for this game. You can see there was a lot of fan service expected, and the producers, the advertisers, they were really backing this game up and putting a lot of content out there for us to see and hyping it up right up until the day of it releasing, and then even leaving us, like I said, on our seats for the actual time of servers being open. So that's, I mean, that goes to say that does hype up a game quite a bit and adds to the excitement, and everybody was in the Discord and really excited to play, so that is great. The first thing I noticed when I started playing the game was how long the tutorial was. I did have a heads up not to do re-rolling process. I completely agree. Don't bother re-rolling. I mean, unless you got like all day to sit there and do a 25-minute tutorial, go for it. And even when I got out of the tutorial, I was like, where are my roles? Like, how do I even make a role? So you have to go into your actual quests and claim all your quest things. And there's no claim all. It's like, it was a pain in the butt. But anyways, I got my first role done. The actual startup of the game is all right. Like you can pick a guest account. You can, choose your accounts. The music was, it's all right. I've heard better. It sets the tone of the mech and it's like a, I don't want to say post-apocalyptic, but it's futuristic. It's futuristic. That's the word I'm looking for. As far as functionality on my device, I have to say it didn't run the greatest to start off. I was having some lag issues. I was having some problems with the game was crashing or freezing on me. On that first day, I blamed it on just heavy servers. A lot of people were playing. Then I started the game up today, the day that I'm recording this video, and there shouldn't have been any crashing or lag and things like that. I mean, people had already been playing for quite a while, almost 24 hours at that point, and I was still having that problem. So that for me is an instant thumbs down. I have quit games very quickly if it didn't run well on my device, and like I said, because I don't have that much room on my device, I make sure that it has enough to run the game. But I was getting a pop-up that I didn't have enough RAM Like, I mean, that's something I've never had pop up on any game that it says that my device's RAM was too small. So they're going to need to look into some, stabilizing or some way they're going to make iOS compatibility work. Anyways, I'm not a pro, I'm not a nerd, I'm not into that stuff, but I do know that if it can't run on my device, then it's a thumbs down for me. So I've put some examples in this video too, like starting up and like every time. So when I close the app and I go back in, it asks me to sign into my Google every time. So for me as a content creator, and if I live stream, that's really risky for me because I have my emails pop up right there, and I don't like that. I don't want to dox myself by accident. So word to the wise, if you're going to live stream this, if you're worried about crashing, like be ready to swap your scenes out and things like that, or like block that center part of the screen or whatever, because it will display your Google account, and it's like fucking annoying. If you're just switching to the main menu, it doesn't make you log in, but anytime you crash the app or the app crashes, you got to log back into Google, and then you got to pick your region, and then you got to log back in. And then what happened is I had that happen, and then it even froze again. Which was very annoying for me. But for the chapters and the story and the lore, I am not a huge lore player, trying to break away from my my dislike for long stories. And this one I found that the story was interesting. It was funny. There were some like little parts in there, like the graffiti thing, robot, whatever dude, there was some like haha humor, but there was also, I found that some of it was like redundant. It was like, you do not need to put in ellipses or whatever, like the 3 dots. You don't need to put that into, I don't need to see that. Like don't put it in dialogue that's pointless to me and just kind of like me filling space in a video, my takes on that is that it is that could be where a lot of the hype and a lot of that fan service comes from. I don't know if this Grey Raven has a huge fan base as far as the lore and the stories and things, the character stories and things like that, or the background stories. But I found that it interrupted me quite a bit. I found that the pop-ups were interrupting. I found that at the start of going into a stage, when it pops up with a little dialogue, and then you got to stop and you got to talk to the dude for some dialogue, and then you just got to stop again and talk to some other dude for some dialogue. I found that the interruptions like that for me turn me off of a game right away. So for some, I think it's good because it does have that lore in there, and I'll get to a reason why it is good and why that those kind of aspects of this game are going to keep people playing. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. But character skills, like, they're so basic. It could be just because I'm starting out. The being able to understand them, it's very clear. So they walk you through the tutorial process. I mean, while it is long, it's necessary, because you got to understand how you got to chain their skills together to get their combos or get like a better effect out of them. And what I found is they are easy to understand. But the first 2 units that I got had pretty much matching skills, and then the third one that I got, like after my tutorial 10 pull, had a completely different skill. So it's like I'm gonna have to know which units have their certain combos that you can use, because some of them require like 3 and then a red, or one of them require like any 2 plus another one. And it's the design of it is really great. I think it's cool, and understanding it, once you get it, it's easy to understand. Putting it to use and the application of it, I think it just comes down to practice. And to start out with, though, play around with it. Keep an eye on that. If you have a unit that's requiring that 3 plus a red, don't get rid of your reds. Try and hold on to your red. Get rid of everything else that doesn't match up. That's a pro tip. I shouldn't give you any pro tips. This is supposed to be my impressions. I do like it. I do like the design of the skills, but without having a lot of units to it, without having all the units, it could be better. There's always room for improvement, and I'll get to that as well. So some of the battles, like when you go into the battles, I found that the camera was placed a little strange for me. The controls are really good. The response is really good. When you want to dodge, it dodges. If you're trying to time that dodge to get into the matrix, and like, I mean, it works. It does work. But I found that the cameras were kind of annoying. Swooping around and like trying to change the camera, I found that just dodging was quicker to just get behind the dudes. So I was able to adapt to it. I'm not sure that everybody would be able to adapt to it because it's one of those things that's, I think it would be device specific. With me playing on an iPhone 8, I have very limited space. I noticed that they have in controls that you can change your layout of controls and things like that, but I didn't mess around with that too much. I like to keep things as default as possible. And I mean, the controls are there. It responds well, but I feel like it was like missing a button. Like I felt like I was always trying to look for like a jump button or something, or I was always trying to look for a dodge, not a go into the matrix dodge. And then that matrix dodge would switch to another kind of looking. There was another button beside it, and then if you go up to somebody, your whole interface of button changes into just an interact button. And the interact button, the actual symbol of it, it looks like something that's more of like a skill. Like it doesn't look like an interact button, but that's just me nitpicking. Again, same thing with the cameras too. I think you can zoom out a little bit and things like that, but on a bigger device on PC, I think it would run a lot better. I think it'd be easier to maneuver around and have your field of view and things like that. I don't like to hold my phone in front of my face. I like to keep it at a decent distance, relax my arms a little bit when I play. The interface too, like so speaking of like the buttons and things like that, like you've got a lot that you can play around with for your game volumes and things like that, and like I said, you can mess around with your buttons and things like that. But I found that there's so much repetitive buttons, like even the pulling on banners. There's 2 different places where they advertise banners. Now, is that becoming the norm in gaches? I don't know. I found myself even after the tutorial scratching my head going, wait, where was that again? Because the design of it looks similar to how it looks in other areas. But again, that could just be device specific, because I find a hard time seeing some of the differences even between some items that I will receive at the end of a battle. If you do make it through the tutorial and you start progressing, a few more things start opening up, some different areas where you can gain, material and advance and things like that. And I think that's great. But the biggest thing that's missing from this, and when I was talking about the community, is that there's no PvP. All the hype that was around this game, it seems to be, for myself, my hype was misguided. I went into this just assuming that there was PvP, and I never really looked to prove otherwise. So my apologies for my family if I led you to believe the same thing. But yeah, there's no PvP. There is co-op, but there's no PvP at all. So I thought that's interesting, which also brings me back to another point when I was talking about there's room for the game to grow. There's a lot of promise with this game. The community is very responsive to it. They're being pretty positive with feedback and things like that, talking about their experiences. And I think that the dev team and the production teams, I think that they will actually put in some work to make the game grow and succeed. The overall impression that I had of the game after my, let's say accumulated 4 hours of playing or so is, there is a lot of hype compared to what there was. I don't want to say it was overhyped, but actually playing is underwhelming compared to the hype. So, and these are just my impressions on iOS. These are completely biased. You guys are welcome to your own impressions and opinions of the game. And I don't want to say it's completely bad. I want to give, there are some positive things about it. I think that the game is super flashy. For the previews that I saw, and I even said in my video that it doesn't really look like anything special, like I've seen it before. But actually playing, like running around when you get into like the 3D maneuvering and you like do the matrix and things like that, it definitely was visually stimulating. And I appreciated that. Now on my iPhone 8, again, small, right? So I can imagine on a tablet or on a PC, it'd be really, really great. So it's got, again, lots of potential to have a big following for that, and a like for that. A lot of gamers do want the flash and the splash, and I mean like the beams of lights and things like that. The fun factor too in this game, it's good to think about that, even if you're not having the best of time. Even me, like, you might be maybe meh on some areas, but you might have a lot of fun in others. Like when I did open up that second mode in the game, I felt like I had more fun with that. It was a little bit different. Once I was out of the tutorial and I was actually having the whole, like, clear the punishing, like get rid of all these baddies, I was having more fun. So as I play, I think that the playability is there and the fun factor is there. So overall impression, am I going to keep the game? I am. I'm going to keep the game. There's a couple reasons why. One reason why is it runs. I mean, it does lag and it crashes and things like that. But while I'm actually playing, compared to some other games that have just as many, I want to say just as heavy graphics, that I'm not losing frames. I'm not like it's smooth. It's bright. I enjoy the scenes. I enjoy the functionality of the buttons. I will get used to how it changes when I'm talking to somebody and things like that. I also want to keep it because I see the potential. There is no PvP now, but I see the potential of them putting PvP in down the road. I see there's so much community backing in this game. They're probably going to invest more. And for what they're showing now, going back to how I don't really see a lot of characters and things like that, what if they're hiding a lot of great things from us? And I kind of want to see what happens with it. So I think it's worth the download. If you're hesitant to download it. Try it out. See if you agree with what I've said. Leave a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And let's see where this game goes, because like I said, I do think it has potential. I think it's going to grow. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your love and support. It's been great checking this new game out, and look forward to more new hype videos on my channel. Don't forget to like and sub. All the links you need are in the description. Take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.